नमस्कारम। एज आई मेंशन्ड मेरा साधना पादा के लिए वेटिंग करना चालू हो गया था एंड ड्यूरिंग दिस एंटायर पार्ट व्हाट आई वाज सपोज टू डू, कुछ तो करना है। नाउ आई वाज नॉट रेडी टू कम बैक होम। आई वाज देयर इन Bangalore. I already had a friend's place where I could stay. I got the job where I could work for some time, and by the time I reached to May or something, I could get back from there. So this is how the entire plan was. But when it comes to job, it just freaks me out. When I was in my college as well, I do remember that last सेमिनार जो हमारा था, इट वॉज सो टफ फॉर मी टू गिव मेरा सोल इट वॉज जस्ट स्क्रीमिंग आउट लाउड टू मूव अवे, रन अवे फ्रॉम दैट सिचुएशन. It says usually that human brain, the reptilian part of the brain, it always try to fight with the system or else flight. But when it comes to your friend level, you can fight. But if it ever comes to authority, never fight. Because irrespective of you are right or wrong, you are never going to win the fight with them. Now, I'm telling it to you being practical. I'm not asking you to leave the rights that you are having. If you have the rights to fight, if you want, you can go ahead, do it. But what I'm saying is, from my perspective, is that I never do it. Because every single time I do it, I get into more mess that people create. It always says, that if you are fighting with a pig in a mud, then you will definitely get dirty and pigs are gonna like it. And that is what I did not want it to have. Irrespective, if they want to ruin me, if they want to take benefit out of me, squeeze me and take some juice out of me, exploit me, take something out of me, as long as I'm alive, I can ready to give it to them. So this is what I have made up my mind back in my before joining the job. Now I know for a fact that every single job that you go for, you can just look around people who are doing jobs. You will find these two things commonly in every sector. One is overworkload, and second is the bad politics. These are the two things because of which people are just not liking the jobs that they are doing. Now, there's a research in which in America it was found that 77% of the people who are working for somebody else, they're not liking that job. And the same thing is happening in India as well. Now, it is only because of, as I mentioned, it's a workload. And secondary thing is people exploit others in the business or in the entire organizations and cultures. Now, what I could do so that I could avoid these traps, because even if I'm going there, if I'm stepping in there, I'm definitely going to put my feet in the mud. But I was not the person who could afford to be bitter. I was not the person who could lose their sanity, because it says in yogic culture that everything that you do, if you do not do with the proper willingness, proper devotion, proper love within, compassion within your heart, instead of deserving more karma, you will accumulate more. And I was not the person who was ready to accumulate more karma, because it again disturbs the energy that you are having inside. Right now I can sit here silently for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but if I indulge myself in those activities for like 10-20 days, it will be really difficult for me to sit 5 minutes over here. So this is how the work that you are doing, the feelings that you are having within you affects for a long period of time. I was not ready to afford that kind of a thing. So bitterness is something that I was not going to take it. Now, how did I prepare myself to get out from this situation? How did I prepare myself to overcome or go through in this situation very, very smoothly? Number one, I was ready to leave the job right at the moment. Every single day I was ready to get fired, irrespective of what is the nature. Usually what happens with people is that when they get into a job, they always get scared that what if they lay off, what if they'll kick me out. But this thing that you have to understand is that every business that is there, they are looking for people desperately who can work for them genuinely. It means jobs are never going to end. Even if they kick me out, there is some other job which I can find and I can survive. It is never going to happen that I will die out of hunger. If one kicks me out, another will give me a shelter, another kicks me out, another will give me a shelter, another kicks me out, another will give me a shelter. Now, here is an important thing. What if the first one doesn't kick me out? And what can you do so that the first one will never kick you out? Is that take all the responsibilities that they are wanting to delegate to somebody. Now, once you get into any kind of job, quickly you will get to know what is the scenario out there, how they are managing the business. And I got to know that from my business where I was in, and I got to know these are the things that's most important for a person. So instead of manager doing those activities, I understood as much as possible, so that even if the manager is not there, then I could be able to take that position and do those things from my side only. Now what will happen after this is, the manager will start become lethargic and they will delegate more tasks to you. Now here the comes workload part, which we'll discuss later. But the fact that is going to happen over here is that they are going to be more and more dependent on you. Since they are more dependent on you, it is never going to be that they are going to kick you out of the place. Now once you ensure that, it also helps you to grow in the career in the same path. Now once you've done that, it is going to be difficult for them to kick you out. This is the second one. Now third is, always give, never want to get back. Now when you go into business or when you go into a job, your main concern always remains that how to balance my personal life and professional life. But trust me when I say this is never going to be balanced. If you ever try to do this, you will just end up stretching. You will stuck in end up like endless stretch of job life and personal life, but it will never going to be balanced. The point I wanted to make out of here is, every single time you are doing a job, just give yourself completely into the job, and when you want to give yourself to the personal life, give yourself completely to the personal life, and that is how you want to manage it. Otherwise, if you want to some hours this side, some hours this side, never going to happen. Because whenever you are having some problem in your job, when you come back to your home, even if you are having in a personal life, all those thoughts will be going in your head. So the thing that you are feeling that I am in my personal life, but endlessly the job is going to be in your head, so you'll never feel that you are ever out of a job. Now if something goes wrong in your personal life when you're into the job, those personal things will go inside your head. So it is never going to be possible for you to give equal amount of time to all this, and the balance that they say job or personal life or professional life, that is never going to be achieved. You will going to stuck in this endless battle. What I can tell you at Max is that every organization have a pace with which it goes. If you can match the pace, you will survive in the organization. If you can overpower the pace, then you might get promoted over there. But if you lower yourself down, then definitely you are going to face troubles because of the authorities. Now the second thing that I wanted to tell you is that irrespective of what happens, you cannot afford to be bitter. I have said this third time in the same video, I know, but this is such an important thing that should be going inside your head, that being bitter is always going to be difficult for you, because an organization is there for a limited period of time, but what they induce into you and what you keep inside yourself, that is way more longer. So you do not want to have this bitterness within you for a longer period of time. You do not want to complain कि पिछले organization में ये हुआ, इस organization में ये हुआ, इस organization में ये problem हुआ. So problems will be there for the endlessly, but you cannot keep it within you. जहाँ पे हो रहा है वहीं पे उसको छोड़ के आ जाओ. So this is that much important thing. So if you can manage to do these two things at least, then definitely you may not enjoy the entire jobs or whatever they are asking you to do, but what you can find at the end is the end result. The time when you are coming back to job, to your home, when you are sitting alone, you will be at least having the peace inside your head. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.